Okay.
All right, Madam Chair, it appears that the meeting is now being recorded and is being streamed live through YouTube.
Okay, so let's call the meeting to order. It's August 31st and it's 11:38 by my clock. And so we'll go ahead and get started. You have the agenda there, Jesse. We have, oh, we need to do our attendance first, right? So let's all just say our name. Shannon Murphy,
Marilyn Borja present.
Daphne Leon Guerrero.
Christopher Cruz present.
okay, it looks like we have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and go on to the next thing, which is the approving the minutes. Is that right, Jesse?
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Okay, have you guys all had a chance to look at the minutes? I did, and they looked fine to me. We had like three meeting with three different parts, right? That was a continuation. Yeah, so if they're all good to go, if anybody wants to make a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Everybody in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. Want to go on to the director's report? Executive
Sure.
Director? Yeah,
Thank you, Madam Chair. Happy to provide this report. And this report continues off from our previous meeting held on July 15th. So first to the website and e-learning portal. I'm pleased to share that the website's online learning portal will launch soon. The program will be presented in 3 video segments with a quiz that follows the conclusion of each segment. Once complete, scores will be reviewed by staff before releasing certificates of completion. Further, we've had a chance to share for some time already the launched website. So we're just sharing another reminder that the commissioners are welcome to visit the webpage, which is www.guamethics.com. And if you have any feedback that you wish to share, areas of enhancements, please do pass that on to us. We're very grateful that Chairwoman Murphy had shared excellent areas that we can improve, and so we've already incorporated those changes. So if any other ideas come up, please feel free to pass that on to the staff. For ethics training workshops, we continue to conduct weekly workshops with an average of 50 to 60 participants for each workshop. Since the last report on July 15th, we have another 240 government officials who have successfully completed the program. So our new total is averaging about 14,000 employees that have successfully completed the training, or about 34 to 35% of the total government of Guam workforce. So we're on track based on this schedule to reach full compliance within the confines of the law. For fiscal year 2021 citizen-centric report, the commission staff are pleased to share the draft copy of this first citizen-centric report as mandated by Title I GCA Chapter 19. Among the information presented in the report include an overview of the commission, its performance, finances, as well as the challenges and outlook. I really want to give a special thanks to Ruben Bagarin, who took lead in the template and organizing that information for us. And we've had really careful consideration on what's included. We didn't realize that there are a number of instructions on what should be presented and key things that are to be featured. There is a competition hosted by the AGA Guam chapter for best CCR, and I'm confident our first one might get some recognition, at least even if it's just that we completed our first CCR. So that's provided in the commission board packet for your review when you have the chance.
Just a note there, I wanted to add, because I was confused by it because I thought it was for this fiscal year, but it was a year ago, because it only shows that we did so many trainings. It was, anyways, but just explain it to me, just for you to know. It was for last fiscal year, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So in 2021, there were, I mean, it seems like quite some time ago, but you hired me in February of 2021. Commissioner Daphne also just joined us that year. There were a few milestones that were accomplished. I think we received 3 new public laws, so we were able to highlight that within the document. But yes, absolutely. It's reflecting 90 participants, I think 0.8% completion, but when fiscal year 2022 CCR gets released, that number will jump exponentially. So we're excited that we saved a lot of our accomplishments to be released in the subsequent editions of the CCR.
Okay, just a second, Jesse, because Dr. Jack's having a hard time getting in. If you could
Okay.
help.
Sure.
I didn't have to do a password. I don't know why he is.
We'll pull it up. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay. I just passed it on, Madam Chair. I'm not sure, do you want to recess at this time until Dr. Jack logs in, or did you want me to proceed with the report?
I think you should proceed because people have to leave at
Okay.
a certain time. Yeah.
Will do. And so back to the CCR, that concludes our information. The next item I have to update is on the UOG Memorandum of Agreement leading into our second year with the university's partnership. This particular year, we're currently starting the draft, and there are going to be key changes to the agreement. The first is our existing agreement called for weekly workshops. We are going to reduce the frequency from weekly and translate that to a bi-weekly offering of workshops. We're also instituting a required percentage of workshops to be offered via Zoom so that we can expand access to the employees, whether they're available in person or prefer to attend the training in Zoom. And to, I guess, assure the commissioners that we're going to meet objective, we anticipate that, oh, I apologize, Madam Chair, I just recognized that Commissioner Cruz just dropped off on his signal. So
Uh-oh.
we may want to
Now we have to
recess.
wait for, we need
Yes,
Dr. Jack. Okay. Sorry.
no
Sorry,
worries.
Mary. Yeah. We're just.
I apologize, Madam Chair. I see Commissioner Chris has joined us back on. So I will speed read. I will try to get through the rest of the information while we have
Poor
everyone
Dr.
here.
Jack, he just can't sign in. I don't know what the problem is.
I know. Well, perhaps in the future, when schedules permit, we could try the meeting in person route. At least we know people won't just disappear. They'll have to leave the door. We'll recognize when they're leaving. But I digress.
So
So
sorry,
back to
guys.
no worries,
Connection
Commissioner Chris.
is
Thanks
weak
for
right
making
now,
it back
so,
on.
yeah, yeah.
So on the memorandum of agreement, the reason for the reduction is we're introducing an online platform of learning. So the access to the workshop is not going to diminish. Therefore, we're able to reduce that. To make up for the cost of the agreement as the university wishes to sustain that level, we are hoping to organize an annual conference. The details are still in flux, but we're anticipating that it'll be an ethics and government summit. We hope to invite a number of employees throughout the government to undergo a 2-day training, train the trainer experience. And so eventually we want to deputize government employees within the departments to then conduct these workshops in-house. Oh, I see Dr. Jack is able to sign on now. So
Right.
and that's the plan. So we'll provide more updates, but we are welcome, Dr. Jack. Thanks for making the call. And
And
for the
let
record, Madam Chair.
show that Dr. Jack is now in the meeting, so we have 5 board members. Okay, go ahead.
Great. And to the MOA, I mean, those details will be forthcoming. Because this is just a draft form, the staff will continue preparing the anticipated changes and share that with the university for their consideration. Once we receive a sign off that they're agreeable to the terms, we'll present that to the commissioners at its September meeting so that that's ratified and voted on as a commission approval. And then moving on to membership. So there are a number of professional organizations that are rich in resources and information that will benefit the commission. One such organization is the Council on Government Ethics Laws, also known as COGOL. We received an invitation earlier in 2021 to join the organization. I believe that there are locally, the Guam Election Commission is a member of this organization and they regularly attend the meetings. So there is conversations with Executive Director Pangilinan to sponsor the Ethics Commission into the organization. And we've also been extended an invitation to attend their annual conference. And so this is an open invitation to any commissioner. The annual conference is scheduled for December 4th through December 7th and will be held in Montreal, Canada. It's a 4-day conference. If you're interested, please let the team know. We're hoping to get a good count on all those from the commission that are desiring to travel abroad. Although our office we're reviewing if the office can sponsor the cost of the trip. We know that we can definitely pay for registration, but we can provide more details to individual commission members who express interest and determine if we might be able to send a delegation from the Guam Ethics Commission out to the annual conference on government ethics laws. The other organization that we have a desire in joining is actually the AGA Guam chapter. And so I've asked the team to provide their information and we'll be submitting our contact information to be formal members of AGA.
What is
On to
AGA
the budget.
stand for?
That's the Association of Government Accountants. So it's the
Okay.
financial arm for professionals within the government. The fiscal year 2023 budget is a big update for us. The legislature concluded its deliberation and is expected to vote on the measure later this evening at about 9 p.m. In it for the commission is an appropriation of $355,000 That appropriation, although shorter than what the full request of the commission is, or was, is still a slight increase of about 33% and will be enough to cover payroll and some contractual obligations. And then finally, within the executive director's report, I did have shared with each commissioner the balances for our 4 account categories. The only one that we're really tracking closely is the FY 2022 account, where we've identified that there's about $9,000 or $10,000 that has been freed up because the university has not or isn't anticipated to liquidate the entire MOA amount. So that's been returned to our account. We don't foresee receiving and a continuing appropriation clause, which essentially means that we can spend those funds in later fiscal years. So our desire is to ensure that if there are resources still available, that we use those resources to buy any additional supplies or other expenditures that we can account for before the end of September 30. Otherwise, any unused funds will be returned back to the general fund. And one quick note, of that table, we do have $29,360 that have been collected and is pending deposit. So that fund balance will grow until I think September 30. We anticipate doing our 4th quarter deposit into the revenue fund. But based on the commission, just as a backtrack, the commission in January of this year approved its budget for fiscal year 2023. That amount was $474,919. So we took the $355,000 expected to be received by the Guam legislature through general fund appropriation. That leaves $119,644. We are fully confident that the ethics fund or a revenue account will have that balance available before the end of fiscal year 2022. So the cash is on hand to sustain us throughout the full 2023 fiscal year.
Great.
All right. And that concludes my report, Madam Chair. Are there any questions that I might be able to answer?
So, well, here's my question. The funds that you're talking about that are going to be transferred, those are for classes that we've given the ethics training program, and then they're okay. Just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yes. And
Anybody else? Oh, go
it
ahead.
is quite an achievement. We do appreciate that the fund balance is enough to sustain the full fiscal 2023. In that way, as we continue to offer these workshops and additional revenue comes in, essentially what we're doing is we're building the account to sustain for all future fiscal years in which we receive an appropriation less than the full request by the commission.
So Jesse, you had talked to me about your idea about if GovGuam would just give us the whole funding that we need to run the commission, then we wouldn't have to charge the government to train its staff, right? But that didn't work out.
That's right. We had asked for, of course, this was a unique budget year because there were more resources available than
Yeah.
what was the original ceiling in fiscal year 2022. But, I think that we did receive some increase, but it wasn't to the levels which we could reduce the training fee. But we're hopeful maybe in fiscal year 2024, when the commission presents its budget request, that might be answered. Otherwise, at least it's justification. The commission is only imposing the training fee to make up for the shortfall not provided by the government of Guam through an appropriation.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Jesse? No, if not, then let's go on to the next agenda item. It's new business. Is that right, Jesse? I
That's
can't
correct.
see
There's
the
no,
agenda on my screen, so.
no worries. The old business, there are none. And so we
No.
move to item A under new business. And that's relative to rescinding the draft rules. So back in July 29 of last month, we transmitted the rules, the draft rules for code of conduct. Basically, we were in discussion with legal counsel through Attorney McDonald, and we found that there were additional amendments required to the draft rules that were already submitted. So his recommendation is that we present to the commissioners for consideration that the first transmittal of July 29 be rescinded, and that legal is working on the recommended changes and will present the commission with the second version, which we will transmit afterwards.
Can you tell us what the changes were in regard to?
Sure. One of the sections in particular talked about request for guidance. And in it, we were describing a process where if the commission had acted similarly in a previous case and a complainant stepped forward in the future, that the director would write an opinion based on precedent of a prior commission action. So legal said that perhaps regardless of the precedent, all cases should still be presented to the commission, and that the executive director would only be able to provide a response after the commission has rendered an action towards a complaint. And that I was in agreement with that proposal. Ultimately, we saw it as a way to expedite the process so that complainants didn't find that the process was too long or lengthy before they received a decision. But the Guam code technically does not give the executive director that power. And so the rules, which is a level below Guam law, could not create law. It just needs to take what is already in the Guam code and provide more detail, but could not in itself make new rules. And in his opinion, that would have made a new rule.
Okay, so you think it's gonna be okay? We don't need to do anything, we'll just wait for the new draft and then we'll adopt it in the next session. The next
Right,
meeting.
the next meeting, I'm confident that we could deal with the next draft. But for
Okay.
this particular meeting, I was ready to rescind the original transmittal, but because it was a commission action and through resolution that we transmitted the first set of rules, I felt it prudent if the commission again just considered and voted on rescinding it since it was a commission vote. So I did draft, and I can just share screen real quick. This is a resolution. It's not numbered yet until it's approved, but it's relative to rescinding the approval of proposed rules and regulations governing the administration of the Guam Ethics Commission relating to standards of conduct under 4 GCA Chapter 15 transmitted on July 29. And in it, we copied the same elements that the commission was established under Chapter 15 Title 4, that the commission intends to prescribe a process for receiving complaints and investigating facts and conducting a hearing, and that there is a section of the enabling statute which allows the commission the power and duty to make, amend, and repeal rules and regulations. And therefore, be it resolved through a vote of 4 or more members present at a publicly announced and open meeting, that the commission hereby approves the rescinding of the proposed rules which were transmitted to the office of the governor and the office of the attorney general on July 29. And if it's passed, that we send copies to the governor as well as the attorney general, signed by the chairwoman as to its adoption and countersigned by the ex officio secretary. So my request, Madam Chair, is if no objection to the commission to approve the resolution, the staff will number it as resolution 2022-002. That's the next number up in our series. And we'll provide that to the 2 respective offices to show that, in fact, the commission voted and agrees to rescind the first set of rules.
Are there any questions about this?
So moved.
Okay, everybody in favor, please say aye. Aye. Raise your hand.
I think we need a second, Madam Chair.
Oh, we didn't have a second yet. I'm sorry, I can't hear. Is there a second, please?
I can
I'll
second.
second.
Okay, let's have a vote then. Everybody
Aye.
approves the motion, say aye.
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 Aye. Anybody not agree? No? All right, so we're good to go. It's passed.
Great, thank you, Madam Chair. For item B is to review and act on resolution 2022-002. I believe we're going to need to amend that number. And those
Uh-huh.
rules are anticipated to be prepared by I was looking at the calendar. We expect to conduct a public hearing on the second rule by September 23rd. So
Okay.
my request is that we table this item B until the commission's September meeting.
All right. All right,
And
do
then
we
now,
go into the closed proceedings?
I believe you'll need a motion though, Madam Chair, to table item B.
Item B. Okay, is there a motion to table item B in the new business?
I can make a motion to table until our September commission meeting.
Thank you.
I second.
Is there a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion is carried.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And the time now is 12:08. If I can get a motion to move into confidential matters, and we'll, upon approval of that motion, we'll transition the commissioners to a breakout room to discuss the pending ethics cases.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to move to confidential matters.
Thank you. Second,
Second.
everybody agree? Raise your hand again. Thank you.
Aye.
Agree.
All right. The motion carried. Jesse, let's go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The commission is now moving to confidential matters. The time now is 12:08 p.m. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. That concludes our closed proceedings. The time now is 12:24. We are now back in regular session and all members appear to be present.
Yes. We're here. Okay, is there anything else on the agenda or are we good to go?
Just announcements. So I do have one announcement. If the commission will indulge me, I am hopeful that I can take a week off from work, just personal time. But it is going to be time also spent doing a little bit of work. So I plan to take off following the Labor Day holiday, which is September 7th. That's a Wednesday. Return to work on September 15th, which is a Thursday the following week. It will just be 1 week. I do have plans to go to Hawaii. I have a confirmed meeting with the state Hawaii Ethics Commission on Thursday that week. So I will just bring up, hopefully the conversation will be on how the Hawaii State Ethics Commission conducts its business. It has a recent mandate to conduct training across the government of Hawaii. And then they also have been handling complaints now for several years or maybe even a decade. So I'm hopeful that the meeting will provide insight for how our commission is measuring up against another established similar organization within the region. And the desire is maybe even to form some kind of ethics network within the Pacific. I've already met previously, and you saw my June report with American Samoa and their ethics commission director. And so my goal is to try to see if the ethics directors of the Pacific can get together and form a resource network to help our functions in this side of the world.
Do you know if they have an ethics commission in the Northern Marianas?
They do not at this time, but they do have an Office of Public Accountability. I think their office is conducting ethics training. But I have plans to reach out to that particular office and see if they have interest in joining us, Hawaii and American Samoa.
Nice.
So no objections. I hope that that's okay for me to take the week off. And that
Good
will be
night.
my only announcement.
Can we go with you?
Okay.
Absolutely, please join me. But so even though it's just time for me, personal time off, I am excited that there's organizations out there that I can connect with and bring back some things for us here on Guam.
Yeah.
Thank you
Well,
for
let us
doing
know
that.
how that
Your-
goes. Yeah.
Sounds really exciting. Have fun.
Thanks for
you.
doing that on your personal time off.
No.
I'm looking forward to what you take back from them.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, commissioners. And the next commission meeting, I will reach out to the commissioners and schedule a date in September. We'll provide updates and expect to have more information available. But that will be it for our announcements, Madam Chair.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and adjourn. I know Mayor's got to go to somewhere, so we better do it now. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Anybody want to second it? Daphne, come on. All right, let's have a vote. Everybody agree to adjourn? Yep. All right, the meeting's hereby adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
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 The time now is 12:29.
12:29. Thanks for reminding me. Bye-bye. Good
Thanks.
job.